What's up, and welcome back to Loose Beats, where we take the loose, chill approach to making music. And I'm Toby from Toby and Davy channel on YouTube. You should check us out. We got a few other things going there. We got our podcast, A Drink and a Joint. We got Flashback Flicks, which is where we review movies. And Davy does a Dead tutorial called Play Dead. And we're here today to do some loose beats. So check us out. Here we got a real simple beat laid out with a basic driven whirly, little echo on it. Go ahead and let you hear this. Just a real simple echoey piano to kind of give us a layer to start off of. You can see our MIDI notes down here, which, I left them a little human just so you could hear that it's an actual piano. And next down the list, we got this Bright MK Blackface. It's a different type of keyboard. Let's go ahead and hear it. Got some extra reverb on here just to give it a little room noise, And I just got our bass notes kind of bouncy, really all over the place, and constantly building here, as you can see in the velocity down here. So basically with this one, I just wanted some kind of bass tones that didn't really keep to any kind of structure, as you can see in the MIDI, that's just bouncing all around, and just wanted to give it some texture and see how that kind of came out, Let's see how those sound together. You can see why I wanted that velocity build and why I wanted it to be a little off kilter, just because the other piano is so on point, So after those, we get into some of our drums here. First, we have a kick that comes in. You keep all this shit labeled. We'll be doing that in the future. Just a basic little step kick, which, as you see, I just use Ultra Beat here. Set out some different sequences to run them off to. Using the neon bass drum here, which is kind of a organic 80s kind of drum kit. This is real fun. I just wanted to keep it kind of simple and real sounding as much as I could at first, And then when we bring in a little bit of hi-hats here to top her off, and let me show you how I got those laid out. So a lot of times I'll just start with this Ultra Beat. I used the Tasty 808 hi-hat, and I string them along, and then I find a few breaks to give us some room for, if you want open hats or snares, something like that, to give it a little variance. And after I do that, I'll pull my pattern into Logic here, and then I'll go down and I'll start chopping them up. So as you can see down here, I love those lead-ins where it's just like a string of hi-hats real quick, it lets it loose right away. And so I tried to lead in a little bit with a few chopped up, and then give it some different sounds throughout here, as you can see in our MIDI. And sometimes I'll use just cut them in half, and every once in a while I'll use that the triple chop, which makes it sound just very robotic. You know, it doesn't even sound like a human could play that fast sometimes. But let's hear what we got with these together. Let that lead in again. And that little pause, you know, you can tell that's where the beat drops in. So we got our setup here, and I do have, you know, just very slight EQs on these. I really haven't mixed them yet, but you can tell I'm just taking out a lot of my highs, and most of them giving room for the hi-hats up here, and kind of bringing up those bass tones in this this bass electric keyboard there. Just kind of drone sounding. I like that. So we got everything up to our actual drop here, which I'm going to show you. Let's start off. Let's see. I think this is our snare. Yeah. And again, just using Ultra Beat, probably the easiest way to go. Kind of listen to it, and I mean, there are a lot of structure. You know, there's a lot of different ways that people get to this point. But best bet is just to listen to where your spaces are and kind of allow for it in the other instruments. You know, take little pauses and pull it out in the EQs. And I've got my snare setting a little high, a little tinny, just to make it shine through, because those hi-hats are so bright, you know. I want those to stand out the most in this. So we've got our snare set up here. Real simple run through. And so normally with my snare, I'll do the same thing. I'll pull the pattern down from Ultra Beat, which we've got from the Beat Machine snare. And I'll go through and I'll at least make 4 different styles to use, 4 different sequences and different measures to give it a little bit of different flavor throughout. And I also go down the same way I do the hi-hats, and I go down and I give us a little chops here and there, sometimes with the double. The triple, of course, is what makes us sound so robotic, you know. And if you don't know how you can chop them up, is really easy. It's a scissors tool, which you go through and you just pick a place in the middle. You know, you kind of eyeball it, hit it. If you want to quantize it, you can. And take that back out though. And so we've got that set up to here. Got a good build going. Next, here we have our 808s come in. Just something really basic to play along with the kick, but also give it a little more bass. And it's not always a good idea to match your kicks directly up. A lot of people put them, you know, just a 16th, 32nd off to give it a little wavering kind of sound. But for now, I'm just going to leave them mainly on point with the kick that we have up there. So, and lastly, we have another little melody that comes in here with just a hard rock guitar from our bank over here, which is just under guitars. And I did a little bit of change on our pedal board and our amp. I think I added that flanger. I think the drive was there already, just to give it a little more tone to it. let's see. I think I dropped the mids a little bit, pulled up the treble. Let's hear this hard rock sound. It's kind of trashy, which I like. You know, doesn't sound like an actual guitar. And that flange just kind of gives it a little attitude too. But I like that doesn't sound exactly like a guitar, because I could have just played, but I wanted it to sound a little more, robotic again. We love those robots. They help us do everything, right? So looking into this, we've got everything set up, and let's hear it through and see how it sounds. Actually does sound a little too busy in this first part with that bass electric piano going, so its velocity rising so much. So what I'm going to do is just take just a little piece of this. I'll do it up here and chop that, and I'm going to take this. And I do want the end to still have the rise, so I'm going to pull that, keep the velocity change in there. But for this part, let's see how this sounds. Just dropping our lower velocity build in there twice. Kind of see how our drop sounds in Yeah, it just gives it does cut back to our lower velocity, which we can go in and actually raise and lower here. If you just highlight all your MIDI notes, you can hit your velocity here, or you can tweak them individually. But for now, I'm going to leave that. Just gives a little more room for our guitar to kind of shine through there. And let's see it, but I like that last build. So let's do it all the way through one more time. Check it out. Got a little drop out here, just for a little break when I do add lyrics to it. Gotta build it back up. Another drop. That's our beat for today. Just a really simple kind of haunting rock tune that I like a lot. And let us know what you think. If you like this, you can always hit us up. My Instagram is at Cushing Prolly, Praly, and Davies is at Davy Kalish. And if you like any of these beats, you can buy some of them if you want to. You can go over them. You can, talk to us about doing some collaboration. We love to fuck with new people. So that was Loose Beats. Check us out. We love you.
Feeling yellow with Pikachu. Let me take a peek at you. With electric, no fucking roof. Cocaine all yellow with Pikachu.